This is the battle of the lenses. Today I'm in this beautiful location in South Florida called the Berry Farms, and today we have a classic battle. Which lens is better and what's the difference between shooting with a 35mm lens and an 85mm lens? I got both lenses today and we are going to compare them. Okay, so I have a 35mm lens right here and an 85 over here. I don't care about the brands today, it's just about the focal length. Now, disclaimer. Both of these cameras, the A7 IV and the A7C II, have the same sensor. Essentially, the A7C II is an A7 IV, but in a smaller version, hence the C. The C in the Sony lineup stands for compact. Okay, so first things first, let's state the obvious. 35mm lenses are way wider than 85mm lenses. And the good thing about that is, for our portraits, 35mm allows us to get more of the environments, so we can show our subject within the environment. They don't isolate as much as 85. We're gonna see that. So the first we're gonna do is we're gonna capture our subject with her surroundings, making sure we show where she is, because that's the importance today, and that's what 35mm is good for. We were able to get a lot of the environment because the lens allows it, and now we're going to isolate our subject a little more with the 85mm lens, which is a more closed up, zoomed in lens. So I'm not saying one is better than the other, they have different purposes. If you want to show your subject and your environment at the same time, 35 is the way to go. If you want to just close up into your subject and then you'll show the environment, but it's not as noticeable, the star there is basically your subject, then that's where the 85 shines. Let's see it. Okay, so another main difference between 35mm lenses and 85mm lenses has to do with the background blur. With 35mm lenses, no matter how low your aperture, you are not going to get your background as blurry as you can get it with an 85mm lens. Now, in cases like today, that's not a problem because we want to be able to include this amazing environment. All these sunflowers, all this green, all this environment is very nice, so we want to be able to see it. There is a lot of people here today though, so blurring some of that background with the 85 is also a cool option. Okay, so now we're going to talk about distortion. Wider focal lengths tend to distort our subject if we get too close to them, especially in the edges, whereas longer focal lengths like 85mm lenses do not distort. They leave our subject more natural. They give us a more pleasing image. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot some photos with a 35. I'm going to get close to my model so you can see what I mean by distorting, and then I'm going to do the same photo with the 85 so you can see what happens. With a wider focal length, hence the 35, I cannot get too close to my subject, whereas with the 85, apart from the fact that I don't need to get so close to them because 85 is already long, if I do get close to them, I will not warp their features. Okay, so here's another difference, another thing you can do with 35s and 85s. Let's say I have my model here, and I have something in the background that I want to get in the photo. Now, I said 35mm lenses are good to get things in the environment that can add to the photo. That's good, except if that thing is a little far away, I might not be able to see it properly with the 35, whereas with the 85, I am going to bring that thing closer. I'm going to take a photo of my model today, and I'm going to get that tree over there in the background, and then I'm going to take the same photo with the 85, and the tree is going to seem closer to my model, even though she's always going to be standing in the same spot. Let's do it. So far it seems like the 85mm lens is better than the 35 from all the things I've been saying about warping my subject, about background blur and stuff like that. Let me tell you where the 35 shines. 35mm lenses, because they are wider, tell a better story in general. We get the full picture. Not only do we see the environment, well, we see the connection with our subject and the environment. It's a storyteller. It tells the story of the whole scene, whereas 85mm lenses tells the story only of the subject. So that's the difference when it comes to storytelling, where one shows and tells and talks about the whole scene, the other one only talks about our character or our subject in the frame. Okay, so those are the main differences between taking portraits with the 35mm lens and an 85mm lens. Now, in the end, they both do different things. It comes down to preferences. It's not one or the other. They can both add to your arsenal of weapons when it comes to photography, and they're all great, amazing lenses if you know how to use them. As always, don't forget to follow Aftershoot in all of our social media to be always up to date with the latest we have to offer. See you all in the next one. Bye.